Really interesting question, and it's one I had myself, actually. So, this question is, are there any linkages between COVID and hormonal imbalances? This person's noticed a change since having COVID in 2024. So, we're going to see these kinds of questions a lot because COVID was a time of extreme fear, and there was legitimate fear because there was a virus that was impacting our biology that a lot of us didn't understand and took a while to start to understand. But we've really started to dig into the science, and especially with people who have had COVID or have long COVID, for example. And what we do know as far as hormones go is that yes, there can be some hormone changes related to having had the COVID virus, but those hormone changes have been scientifically found to be short-lived. And so, what do I mean by that? There has been found to be a heavy or lengthening of menstrual cycles. And so, if you noticed heavy periods after having COVID, or even if you noticed some different peri or postmenopausal bleeding, if you were close to menopause in that time frame, those changes can be related to the COVID virus. So we know that COVID could impact clotting and it could potentially, through that, impact hormones. But those changes were short lived. In other words, if you're still having problems with your hormones or your menstrual cycle, or you're having postmenopausal bleeding, or anything that is not clear to you or has not previously been evaluated, you need to really have that evaluated. So some answers there, but don't put up with symptoms that you can't explain.